just from what you've seen in downhill mountain biking, how much time is there to be made?
There is a lot there, like seconds.
Like, look at the bikes and the kits and things like that. Like, it's like 35k average speed.
35? It's not faster than that.
Well, someone told me the average in Leogang was 47, but I don't think that's true. But
that's a little bit too fast.
Yeah, I don't think
but
that
you're
was
not
right.
constant, are you?
No,
You're down at like
no.
15, 20,
No,
and then
no.
you're
You're
at
walking speed in a couple of turns, and then 70k on another straight.
35 to 40,
That's quite
I would say.
a challenging problem for optimization. So to go back to like the clothing optimization thing, we try to really refine around a certain speed range, which we can never be 100% sure of. If you do a time trial, you might be at 40, you might be at 60, but it's probably a bit tighter than your 10 to 70 range. But there is a lot there, like seconds, I would say.
I agree. Do you know what? We used to race in Lycra the same as road cyclists do, right? Back in my era. Then it changed and everyone started wearing motocross kit because it was cooler. You know, but the team I was riding for then were like, you can practice in your baggy gear, giant, but you need to put your Lycra back on for finals because we know it's quicker. Like, you got to. There's no argument with that. And you would miss braking points. Like, you'd go into a corner, like you were going so much quicker in a skin suit that you hadn't worn all week that you'd cock those finals runs up because you'd brake too late. You know, you were going so much quicker.
You've got to train as you would race. And I think, But
like the difference in the clothing, you know, and now the skin suits, they're calling them speed suits, but they are back a little bit. But
they're still a bit baggy, but not
they are.
entirely.
Yeah, they are.
But is that by regulation? There is some loose rules.
Sure, no, it moves. It might be.
There was for a bit, there was a pinch test.
Yeah, that's right. The science of that.
Subjectivity, Pete.
And so now the regulation is it just has to be 2 pieces. And so they just put on like, you know,
is that what it is?
And then it's like a suspender thing that you put over the top.
That is wide open. So, do you guys race with power meters? I'm sorry, I'm getting really into this.
Not in Mount Downhill, they would.
A couple people have.
They might reference so they know where they're at, but I don't think they race with them.
So I was going to say, the reason being is if you've got power data, which I imagine you're probably not putting loads of energy in, most of it's coming from gravity, right?
Yeah.
You've got a lot of gravitational potential.
There are parts of the track where a downhill athlete will sprint and they will put out insane wattage, like you know. You can imagine they're a sprinter. That's what they are,
which is their purpose. But if you take that, you can model this really easily. You look at where's energy going to, and then you can figure out. Well, I if I was a betting man, I would say probably over 50% of your energy goes into aero drag on that entire course.
50%
off the top. I mean, if you give me a Garmin file off Strava, I'll probably get a really good estimate really quickly. And then you're like, well, okay, you can maybe only improve it a few percent, arguably. Maybe you can improve it a lot, I don't know. But in clothing, considering that's probably 70, 80% of your drag of the entire system, there's a lot to be found there.
There is.
Crazy.
Yeah, there is. There's masses, that's right.
There was a big push, and tracks used to be a little bit different to where you were pedaling a lot, and so people started to think about power. And then it's kind of gone the other way because like now it's like, oh, you know, power doesn't, you're not pedaling a lot and like maybe it doesn't make that big of a difference. And I think over the years too, you've had like riders win with no chain and stuff like that. And that kind of pushes the exact thing that you were talking about where it's like, this is kind of the thing that really matters. But it is like so interesting that you kind of don't think about it. You know, it's kind of just, it's not something you practice. Like you're not, you know, as a downhill rider, you like maybe you're like, I think I'm gonna tuck or whatever, you know. But like sometimes your head's here, sometimes it's like that, like this arm's here, or whatever.
Peaks.
You know,
we run massive peaks off our helmets. You know, I mean,
that scares me. Get rid of that.
Well,
are you allowed to? That's probably another one.
You're not allowed to take it off.
No, but they did take them off. Then they were like, you can't take them off, so people had short ones manufactured and stuff. You know, this mountain bike downhill, considering now we've spoken to you, you realising how aero it is. It's miles off, isn't it? There's
I'm going to flick my laptop out after
this.
We'll
have an hour with you afterwards, and we'll have a new world champion by the end of next year.